Hello, this is Ted Goldsboro with Living History, continuing a program with Tom Hayden, the chief of the Merion Fire Company in Ardmore. And we're discussing at the present time, we're discussing the firehouses, Merion Firehouse on Greenfield Avenue. Tom, when was this firehouse built?
That firehouse was complete in 1997, and then we moved back in from our temporary tent quarters that was located at Greenfield in Spring. Great state-of-the-art facility, and that's where we run all our calls out of every day.
Okay. So your first one lasted about 1900, so like 90 years maybe?
Yep, and that was added on to with three substantial renovations, but just couldn't meet our needs anymore.
Does this facility, it meets the needs now?
Yeah, there was a lot of thought put into this with the architects. With this, we have sleeping areas on the second floor, and we have room to expand a little bit. So really a good firehouse that should take us through the next 50 years without any real substantial problems.
It's a nice looking firehouse.
It is indeed, very nice.
I want to talk a little bit about who can be a fireman, a fire person, sorry. What ages?
Well, we accept members from 16 to any age, but you have to be 16 years old. And from 16 to 18, you would be a junior member, and you would just basically take part in training. And when you completed your junior fire training, then we would allow you to go to some calls within the guidelines of the state of Pennsylvania and help out on the fire ground. When you're 18 years old and older, then you can start the training to become a senior firefighter. And the training is rather intense. We train every Monday night at our station, and then as the firefighter grows in the job, they attend usually a fire school. Our Pennsylvania State Fire School was done through the Montgomery County Fire Academy in Conshohocken, and they have a curriculum so that our firefighters could graduate as the basic firefighter, and after that they can go on to more advanced courses. Quite a commitment on training, but people seem to really like the training and their life skills. If you're not a fireman forever, or you move away, you have those skills that have you been trained to do that are really great life skills.
Do fire people have to take or get annual physicals so that they're in good shape?
Yes, we have a physical policy where before you can start your training, you have to take a physical and pass the physical, which the fire company pays for. Then after that, it's on an age basis. Some of the younger people take a physical every 3 years, and then some every 2 years, and then I think it's over 40 years old, then they would have to have a complete physical every year. I think the drivers are also on that yearly physical program. We just want to make sure for the firefighter and for us that you're in good shape, and because it becomes a strenuous job out there on the street.
I think I recall that there's an old firebox, I don't know how old it is, at a house on Church Road, and I wondered if that was your father's house?
That was my father's house. That was I had grown up there back in the day, and my father was part of the Bryn Mawr Fire Company early on until '59, and then he took a job with the township as one of the fire marshals, and then was also a member of the Merion Fire Company of Ardmore. That's left over from his day. He had a firebox in the front lawn.
Okay. I have a picture of your father when he was elected fire marshal, I guess. And there's another, we're talking about people. I was thinking about long-standing
Yeah, we have a number of members in the Merion Fire Company that have been honored for long-time service. This article that you had pulled out is Benny Del Villano. Benny Del Villano was a member for over 55 years of our fire company. He was involved, he was our foreman, he was assistant chief, and he just took care of the day-to-day operation as a volunteer assistant chief. He had worked originally at the Sun Oil Company, which had their original office behind the gas station at Woodside and Lancaster. And I think he had actually worked for the Pews, doing things for them, who owned the Sun Company at the original time, and they would allow him to do whatever fire company business was necessary. So Benny was a great member, and there was a lot of members like that that would leave their businesses just to run the fire company.
Yeah, that's my point.
Yep, and that's the way it's really done today.
Your employer has to be understanding that you're a volunteer and you're giving to the community.
Yep.
Glenn McClellan was another one.
Chief McClellan, he was the chief before me. He owns a electrical business in Ardmore and had the flexibility, and he was chief for a number of years, from the 70s, 80s, up into the 90s. And,
okay. Yep. Thinking of fire equipment now, fire engines. And I guess this probably was that. Yeah,
the original, one of the original fire trucks that we talked about on Lancaster Avenue that was originally pulled by the members, and it's hooked up with borrowed horses there. But that's the original firefighters ready to go. So I guess if they got another call down in Narberth, they'd get there a little faster.
Yeah, right. And then once we became mechanized, there's a picture, and I believe I've seen this called Simplex, which was a name of a company.
Yep, a Simplex pumper, and they look like they're on a drill there to practice with the Simplex pumper.
The metal helmets were in case things fell on you?
Yes, we had aluminum helmets in the fire service, a combination of aluminum or leather. And they lasted up to about 1975 when we went to the newer modern helmets that also have much more protection inside, kind of like a motorcycle helmet for impact, and they're non-conductive of electricity, and they have ear flaps and whatnot. But those helmets were used from the early 1900s to 1975.
Okay. You sometimes see people collecting, see them hanging there. Then an early ladder truck, and I think that was a Mack, was it?
Yeah, that was our Mack ladder truck. Again, in our station, we have the original ad for that. They when the Mack company built that, or the fire truck manufacturer of that built that, they had advertised in the Fire Engineering magazine, and we were lucky enough to come up with the original ad for that truck, and it hangs in our little museum room there at the station, so we're very proud of that.
How does, fire trucks today, ladder trucks today, are hundreds of thousands of dollars?
Yes, you could spend over $1 million on a ladder truck today. Depending what is on it, but they're very, very expensive. The average pumper's probably about $600,000, and the average ladder truck is a little over $1 million.
Where does the money come from for Merion Fire Company to buy something like that?
Back here, in this day, that we as the Merion Fire Company purchased our apparatus. The township has gracefully, and we've worked to come up with an apparatus replacement program for all the fire trucks in Lower Merion Township. So they step up and they buy our apparatus, and it's on a apparatus agreement and a timing, so that in Lower Merion we don't stack up and need 3 fire trucks in 1 year.
Is there something about turning in old equipment, or how do you decide when to get rid of an engine?
We generally are on 15 to 20 year cycles with the equipment. Over the years, if we happen to have a piece of apparatus that was problematic, maybe we could move up that apparatus replacement. but really 15 to 20 years is about what we get out of a piece of apparatus.
Here, I believe, well, that's the same Mack, I think, the ladder truck.
Yes.
And this is coming out of the one on Greenfield Avenue.
Correct. Heading up to Lancaster Avenue.
Okay.
There were tiller trucks, and in the rear of the truck there was also a driver there that is able to tiller the truck, and they could get down tighter streets. And we had tillers from our original trucks all the way up to 1998 when we went to a straight concept ladder.
Interesting to note, this looks like a big
Autocar building there,
an Autocar building, and then a house next to the fire.
We were really in the middle of the Autocar plant there on Greenfield Avenue. If you know where our station is, the Armin building that is next door is a leftover Autocar building. Yes. And then across the street, where the State Store is, that is a leftover Autocar building. And then that whole shopping center that goes up to Lancaster Avenue was an Autocar building, and had a serious fire known as the Kitty City Fire in 1988. And then that's how that shopping center occurred. To continue on the Autocar buildings, the Ardmore West Shopping Center is built where the original Autocar factory was, and that burnt down in July of 1956. So large fires changed the landscape of the town of Ardmore.
Yes. We have about a minute to go here, but we're talking about fire engines, and I wondered what kind of fire engine this?
It's a 1952 American LaFrance ladder truck, 100-foot aerial ladder. Wow, our dog Smokey is on the turntable. That's pretty neat, and that looks like it would be at one of our parades where we're going down Lancaster Avenue.
Well, Chief Hayden, we have to wrap up here now. We're done our first segment, and we very much appreciate your being with us, and we're going to continue. So this is the first of 2 shows. And this is Ted Goldsboro with Living History, and we'll hope to see you again next time.